AA, see you in church. Hi, I'm Manuel, and I just watched a Jubilee episode, so I wanted to talk to you guys about this. I've already made a video today, and I was like, got out a video today, and wasn't planning on making another video today. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, put the little hand up, and leave a message now or after if you don't want to listen to what I'm saying about the subject. The subject today is going to be about colleges and getting your degrees and all that stuff. I'm finding, to be honest, that all this money you're spending to go to Ivy League colleges and everything is a complete waste of money. Sorry to say that. The reason I'm saying this is because I've worked in the business world for years, worked with several different companies that keep hiring people from college because you got a degree, and it's a useless degree. And these useless people come in, and that's the sad thing, it's that they are useless. They're taking space and wasting our time. A lot of people say, but you're getting paid. I said, I'm not getting paid enough. I'm training my boss to be my boss. And they got, I went to Yale. I went to Stanford. And that's the thing. I'm like, you're a Yale student? What was your degree in? Oh, I took a degree in language. Language? I took a degree in English. You got an English degree. And to me, I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. What I'm trying to say is, what a waste of money. What a waste of time. You may have had a great time where you got a connection, that's right. You got a connection from the stupid location that I stupidly got a job at. And I saw that also when I first started. I went to Phoenix College and I got a fashion design certificate with fashion merchandising and display. And I went in, I got a good job, I was happy, I was learning and everything, and then they shoved onto us someone that was so useless. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything, it just was the reality. She knew everything already. No, she didn't. Then they put her in the buyer department, and I look at all the ugly, hideous sweaters she purchased. And I'm like, I'm glad I don't work in that department because I don't have to try to sell this stuff. Sweater after sweater after sweater. I had my own little department and I put it out, sold out, moved fixtures, made new arrangement so that the fixtures look, the floor plan looked full. And my boss would come and say, well, where's that fixture? I said, it's empty. I can't leave an empty fixture on the ground. He says, well, just put other stuff on it. I said, what other stuff? He goes, what? I said, what other stuff? I'm not going to go home and make clothes for you guys. And he started to laugh. He says, you're not kidding. I said, no, I'm not. We go to my back room and my shelves are empty in the back. And he looks at the floor. He says, I gotta go look at some numbers. And he looks at my numbers and he says, he comes back and says, you're right. You're selling your product. And I said, yes, I am. So I get a phone call. And it's that person that came and says, could you go over? I need this, and gives me a SKU. And I tell her to give me your phone number and I'll call you back. So I put it down next to the SKU, and I'm going through pile after pile after pile of hideous sweaters. And I don't find what she's looking for. So I'm about to go to the back and the phone rings. So I run over. It's not my phone, but I run over. I answer the phone and she goes, well, I said, well, I was going to go to the back and look. I said, it's not on the floor. So I'm hoping that it's on one of the shelves nicely folded that I can go and just check the numbers, because that display is horrible. And she goes over and she rants and raves about her drama and everything. I said, excuse me, but I'm doing you a favor. I have a department of my own, you know that, and I'm running it. I said, but I took the time off to come over here because the young lady that runs your department is on lunch. But if you don't want my help, well, good luck. And I hung up on her and put the number, her number and the number of the sweater on her register. And here she comes, and I'm angry. Comes and she goes, what's going on, Manuel? And I told her. She goes, oh, that sweater, I never got it. I go, what? How do you know? She says, oh, because that was the sweater I did get. I was given all these numbers, and you know how I taught you to go through your things to make sure you got the product so that we can prove whether we got it or not. And then after you match your paperwork, you put it over there, and we call up and let them know what we're missing, and that way they can subtract those numbers from there. Well, I called and I told them we didn't have that sweater. We didn't get it, and that took, she said, 200 and so dollars off my floor, letting them know that I didn't have it. And I was like, oh, that's right. She goes, yeah. I said, she goes, what's going on? I said, what's her name yelled at me because, and she goes, don't pay attention to her. You should have just told her you'd give me the information when I came and I would call her back. That's what Ty does over there. He doesn't even waste his time. I said, well, I wanted to be nice. She goes, you can't be nice to these people. So then here comes Pam, who trained me and hired me. And she said to me about what was going on. And I told her what happened, and she told her that we don't have it. She had already turned that information in, so she didn't know why she was calling her. That means that on her side, she didn't take it off their list. and she called them up to get that money put back on her floor. Take off the floor. That means that she doesn't have a shortage. And so then there was drama. They moved me upstairs, and I was working up there, and I never had any of that drama going on. But I went to another store, still no drama. Then I end up going and working for Mervyn's. And at Mervyn's, they hire straight from the colleges a bunch of useless people, and we have to train them. They have all these degrees, but nobody has any training in any of the departments. They're all teacherettes, they're all language, they're all other than clothing, than anything to do with fashion. Not one of them have any fashion, except for one person goes and says, I read a book. And I'm like, oh, drama, drama. That means, to be honest, to me and my group, that someone read a book. Now they're going to try to get it to work on our floor. And that means we're going to do twice the work, because the way it is that when I went to go work over there, I brought our level up. What that means is that because we learned all this extra stuff, our numbers were really low. And we made sure that the product came in, because that's how I was trained. And we were number one in over 25 districts. And now they want us to train managers. And I'm like, So here they come. We're a line of airheads, useless people that think that all they need to do is boss people around. And it doesn't work that way. Not in the store I was working. You have to learn. And 75% of the people that came through didn't want to learn. They thought they knew everything they needed to know. So we're talking to people, and it's going in this ear and out the other ear. We get Yale graduates, and they come and they introduce, well, we got a person coming in for you guys to train. They're a Yale graduate. And I'm like, why are you go like that? I said, because that means that he's going to say, I read a book. And that means he's going to start trying to move stuff around. And we have maps. We have to stick to the maps. I said, and then when we hear that so-and-so's coming, then we have to rearrange our floor to fit the original map, even though we told him we have to have it that way. And then they come, they see it right, and then we tell them, if you want to destroy the floor now, you can. And the more supposedly educated they're supposed to be, the more useless they are. And because they don't want to listen. That's the problem. It's not that they don't have the ability to listen. It's just that they see that I got an education. Yes, you did. You spent thousands of dollars, and you got a little piece of paper, which I also got, except for mine didn't come from no expensive thing, and I don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of bills left from my college. And here I am training you and not getting more money. And to me, it was just annoying. It's like a slap in the face. Here I am working hard, trying to cut out a life, and here you come out of school, and I have to train you to make more money than me. That just doesn't really make sense. And to me, it was just such a waste of my time because I could get more work done without them there than I could when they were there. Because then that means I have to do my work and then have to do it all over again because they messed it up. It just doubles your work. Then I have to train them to scan and do all kinds of stuff. It was just annoying. So then here comes the head guy, and he's like, we have already had the two Yale, the other big college names. I think we had like three big college names. And he was like, oh, how, and I'm like, I said, oh, okay. He was like, you don't sound too happy. I said, I'm not. I said, you're just doubling my workload. I said, I have to let them do whatever they want because they're our boss. But then we know you're coming. So now I have to go get the map, redo the floor so that we'll pass. Is double my workload. I said, so you're not giving us extra help. You're giving us a deterrent, something that's going to stop us from doing extra work because we have to babysit him and train them to be our boss. I said, now if you want to pay us a little extra, which the answer was no. But that's just the way it is. I mean, not throwing stones or anything, which I really am, but the benefit to us wasn't a benefit. We would have been better off if we didn't get any of those people in and we just had a manager. That was it. Because then that person would know what he's doing. We would be working together and it would stay like that. But we didn't never had that. We were constant training. Then we had they had stolen a person from another store, and they were like, oh, yay, and all this kind of stuff. And we were like, oh, damn. Because now we have to untrain them from what they learned over there because we don't run our store the way they do. Our map doesn't come like theirs does the way it's supposed to. And we had to hold ours upside down and look at what it looks like and then form our floor the way that it does from up there. Like it's an overview. And it is just funny. We were like, oh my goodness. Okay. And he didn't last. They were like all so excited they had stolen him. And he lasted half a week. Then he quit. So then they came over and they told us that he quit. And we're like, oh, okay. And they said, you guys don't really care. I said, well, we're still doing all the work ourselves. He wasn't any help. He was actually deterrent, and we tried to train him, but he didn't want to learn. So that's why he went back to his store. So Ivy League, whatever, you guys, continue to be impressed by it. I ended up not impressed. I'll be impressed when you come and say, I have a training, I've worked, and I'm already a manager and I already know how to do this. And then he comes out and they actually do know how to do it. I'll be impressed then. But until then, we haven't gotten anybody like that. And I don't mind training. I just rather get more money if I'm going to be doing that. If I'm going to be your teacher, I should get more money. I shouldn't be getting minimum wage or above minimum wage. You know what I mean? We should be the training store and we all get a nice amount of money because we're going to be doing a harder job. But it doesn't work that way. And all these Ivy League colleges don't really mean anything to us because all it means is that they paid a lot of money for a whole lot of nothing. When they come into our store, none of them went to college to work for a little store. So, I don't know. What do you think? How do you feel about that? Do you think I should have been impressed? Because I wasn't. Only thing I knew was I was going to be training a new person and doubling my workload. And that's just the way it is. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, put a little hand up, and leave a message. Tell me something you might want to talk about, or let me know what you think about what I said. How does it run in the way you think? Anyway, AA, see you in church.